like snort.
You can ride with me. Yeah.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy smoove back again with another video, and this is 9 superstars most responsible for WWE's new boom period. I've been an avid wrestling fan for years. There's been times where, I wouldn't watch as much, but I've always stuck through either watching highlights on YouTube, sitting down and watching a Raw, SmackDown, or pay-per-view. And as of recent, up to the, 22, 23, 24, I've been keeping up with WWE pay-per-views. Pretty much anything after the, what is it called? The infamous pandemic era inside the Performance Center. But there's been a lot of characters that I feel truly put WWE to that next level. Technically, if you're counting Triple H as a superstar, you could use him, but I guess not. Roman Reigns would be one that comes to mind. Rhea Ripley, obviously. Gunther or Walter. Like, certain names like that definitely have, during this recent 2-year, spin which under Triple H's run, have been like quite amazing. I guess the best way to put it, in all my years of being a wrestling fan, this time period that we are in is the most enjoyable. It's fun to watch. Like, last year, for example, all of 2023, there's been, obviously matches and storylines that I wasn't that interested in over others, but from January to the next part until 2024 hit, every PLE pay-per-view, whatever you want to call it, was bussing. Every pay-per-view was a 10 out of 10 almost, in my opinion. Like, amazing shows, which is crazy. Not even 10 out of 10, but really great matches and great pay-per-views overall. I ain't gonna waste no more time. We're gonna hop into this one, What Culture Wrestling. I'm ready to see what he has to talk about it. I'll leave his video or channel down in the description below. I love watching him. Simon, if you're in or going to be going to SummerSlam in Cincinnati this year, I'm going. So, hey, I'll be in that background in your little video too. I'm putting my ups up. Yeah, I'm giving my ups with you. Before we dive in, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you love the Smooth Squad family, ring the notification bell so you don't miss out on other content. With that being said, let's hop into today's video.
WWE is doing great right.
Wait. All right, let's get it.
WWE is doing great right now, and it
Yes,
rules.
they are.
If you want to be one of these negative Nancys that's all like, oh, I think wrestling is the worst thing ever, more power to you. But I'm having a great time. So is the world of sports entertainment.
Yes,
As ever,
sir.
when we do get
Cody
to a
has been
successful
cooking.
period, usually it's because a bunch
Both
of individuals
parties
have become stars. And at the moment in World Wrestling Entertainment, of course we can talk about Roman Reigns, and we will do, but there's a bunch of other dudes and girls that really need a shout out to. So let's be lovely to these heroes, and I'm Simon for What Culture. Thanks
Dominic
very much
Mysterio,
for joining as always.
definitely.
Hit that subscribe button, and here's WWE superstars responsible for the boom. Number 9, Drew McIntyre. I mean, what a turnaround Drew has had in his WWE career. I mean, he came in the 2010s and everyone was like, oh my gosh, he's the second coming. He is going to be the WWE champion.
Yeah.
When he got fired, reinvented himself, returned, the flubbing guy became the WWE champion. I mean, WWE were also so happy to have him back, he barely spent any time in NXT. When we got to the 2020 Royal Rumble, and he knocked Brock Lesnar over the top rope.
I watched this Royal Rumble 2020 live. I still get goosebumps from the pop that Kicking It with Ross named him something. Redacted. That's what I'm calling him. When Drew McIntyre kicked Redacted out the ring, the pop that went throughout that arena, bro, oh my God. Like, yo, there's always moments throughout history that people will go back and look at, and like they're historic for like many reasons. Hulk versus Rock, having their stare down, looking opposite ways of the ring. The crowd went crazy for that. Rock and Stone Cold, like there's moments throughout history where that happens. this was one of those moments. And I'm glad I was able to experience it live. This definitely cemented Drew McIntyre as that main event star. In my eyes, I believe in everybody else's eyes, it was magical.
Rope. Well, just go listen to the reaction. The Scottish Warrior was over. Don't forget that people were pleading for this at the time as well.
That is facts.
This, very sadly, the pandemic then
in some
came.
mid-card stuff.
And even though he did beat the Beast at WrestleMania, it was in a warehouse and he had to be victorious to absolutely no noise. It is not fun. The thing is, though, from this point on, WWE had to go through those horrible waters. And who was front and center, making sure we did want to tune in? It was damn Drew McIntyre. So without that, would the company be where it is now? Arguably no. That's why he's in this list. And sure, ever since people have come back to arenas, you can kind of argue that McIntyre's creative has been a little bit hit and miss, but he still comes across like a bona fide main eventer.
Yeah, and he's
he
interesting
still had
on the
that
mic.
Terrific match with Gunther and Sheamus at WrestleMania. So once again, he gets
Look at what he's doing
tick.
nowadays. Do you see the
Don't sleep
t-shirts
on
that he's been dissing CM
Kevin
Punk?
Owens and
So, Drew McIntyre, I can agree with that. He definitely has been one of those guys that has carried us through the pandemic. Not really necessarily beyond that, because like he said, his booking has been questionable. He's gotten a lot of great opportunities, but he just hasn't been able to be as popular or at that status he was at the pandemic era or right before. He's definitely got that room to be there, and if he beats Seth at Mania, oh my, it might be that. But Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, you gotta put them on here. Just the storytelling, Sami Zayn being in the bloodline alone, you gotta put him in here. Kevin Owens too, like the dynamic with this, amazing. Like both of them, great talents. It's funny, when I was young, before I even knew who these dudes were, when he was El Generico, I watched them, I believe in one of their final Ring of Honor matches, was a ladder match. Either ladder match or a tables, ladder, and chairs match, one of the two. But oh my God, it was beautiful. It was beautiful. And I never knew who they were until later on finding out, but it was crazy.
and Sami Zayn.
Amazon is overcharging you, but I can show you how to avoid it.
So genuinely, I think when all is said and done, we're going to look at Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn and mutter to ourselves, well, they were some of the best wrestlers ever. I mean, genuinely, what can't they do and what haven't they done? I mean, even when their WWE contracts were up, the internet was like, oh my gosh, they have to go to AEW. But they re-signed, and look at the fallout of this. Kevin Owens has now main evented 2 WrestleManias, and Sami Zayn became one of the most popular wrestlers in the entire company. So that is where the argument ends, because them sticking with WWE was absolutely the right choice, and management knows this as well. I bet they look at both guys and be like, we can put them anywhere on the card, and they're going to make that match, they're going to make that feud, they're going to make that program, and they're going to make that promo better. Let's not pretend they didn't help the Bloodline story either, because they were a huge part of it. And while this does sound like silly Billy stuff, I really hope we do get to one Mania and we do KO versus Sami for a world championship.
We can do that next year.
That will just make me feel warm and fuzzy in my tum.
I felt like their tag team championship run would actually end in them having a one-on-one feud, but one, why would you not do that at a premium live event or even Mania, knowing the two talents you got? Like, but the question that I have would be, last time these two split up, you remember Kevin turning on Sami, and then Sami returning a favor when he got initiated into the bloodline. So how do you go about them feuding? Because you could go the typical, oh, we're still friends, let's the best man win, and they'd still give an awesome match. But like, we've seen that so many times. Like, what can y'all do new, different? How, like, you can maybe turn one of them heel and still make something out of it, but like, how can you invest me in a 1v1 match? We already know they're good in the ring, but like, invest me for that match. I want that storyline. Look at their history in the past. Like, bro.
Number 7, Dominic Mysterio.
Yep.
So I mean it. Sit down, otherwise you're going to lose it. But when the time comes, if we play our cards right, and we can take all this momentum Dominic Mysterio has, you could switch him babyface, and I think there's a good chance he could explode. Not literally. Because we have seen this happen time and time again. You go heel, you earn your stripes, everybody starts to like you. When you can flip on a dime, you just fly off into the sky. I mean, this dude has totally found himself as the ex-condom, and his relationship with Rhea Ripley is absolutely faboo, and he does keep getting better in the ring. So I think his evolution has just been perfect, and don't forget, he is a Mysterio, and they just have good wrestling, I don't know, power in their genes. So all we have to do here is be patient and figure it out. Also, go look at his social media numbers. That is absolutely helping WWE, which is why he's a part of the boom. Number 6, Roman Reigns. Now look, Roman Reigns should obviously be number 1, but that's boring when we get to lists like this.
That's actually surprising that he's
on your Tootsie Toes.
here.
But of course, Roman has become the guy that WWE always wanted him to become, and he is a mega superstar, legendary figure, and he's gonna go down in the history books. Now you can pretend otherwise, but the statistics will prove you wrong.
Just when you think the bloodline storyline gets stale, they revitalize it. This part is crazy. You gotta remember the bloodline in the beginning. Main event Jey Uso is getting stale. Guess who returned? Jimmy. Ooh, so no yeet. And just when that storyline was getting bold, or I guess you can say stale, Brock Lesnar, John Cena, 2 people returned. Once they got defeated, once Redacted got defeated, and you think it's getting stale, Solo Sikoa comes in. You think it's getting stale, Sami Zayn gets added. And it's just a spiraling, like, it's just been on and on. Like, you've seen it with Jay leaving the blood, Jimmy and Jay turning on Roman. Jimmy rejoining, which made no sense. Jay leaving the bloodline. You know, now we have Rock. Bro, it's just crazy how, like, it keeps going. And there's 2 other, is it Sika or the other Fatus that are in the indies right now doing crazy stuff. I believe they have a tag team right now, but like even them are doing like great things.
Because merchandise is up, house shows are up, gates are up, ratings are up, and anytime somebody says, oh, by the way, the head of the table is going to be involved, they increase even further.
Yeah.
He has just totally smashed it. Also, if you do look at that bloodline angle, it does not work without our tribal chief, but also he has hit a massive chord with younger viewers, which is why more of them are tuning in. They want to see what Roman is going to do, and dare I say it, they probably think he's pretty cool. And he's handsome. So WWE were right. It just took them a little while to figure it out. And for those in the back that may not be listening, no. WWE is not in the position it's in right now without Roman Reigns.
That is fact.
The fact that I'm bringing you the
last
facts.
3 years, bro.
Roman, I acknowledge him. 5
plus.
stars.
Ads.
One thing that the WWE has been missing for ages, and you already know this, is credibility when it comes to the mid-card titles. Now, it's so important to do this because 1, you can balance out a show using them, but also 2, you can look at a wrestler and say, well, we need to get him to the main event. What can we do? Well, we can give him one of these brand new credible mid-card titles. You see how this works. I mean, we have seen the opposite approach to this, and it's pointless, which is where Gunther does get involved, because ever since he won the Intercontinental Championship, he has brought all the prestige back to it, to the point he actually beat the Honky Tonk Man's record.
Literally.
That's been going for ages. I mean, the former Walter has been so damn good that people are like, oh my gosh, he's having the best matches that we've seen in WWE in years. And if from nowhere someone decided, actually, I think Gunther should beat Roman Reigns tomorrow, I don't think many people would complain because we've done a great job with it.
No, literally, Walter has been portrayed amazing.
He didn't get him, and he was going to send him back to NXT.
Yep.
And I'm sorry, this is the reason we came up with that phrase, because 2 + 2 equals potato. That don't make no sense. He also brings a different style to the ring, which is also reeled in many other fans. So seriously, go back through the last 18 months or so. He is been damn pivotal to the
He's been killing it.
Like, you cannot
deny one, Triple H and Shawn Michaels are true fans of Walter. As you've seen him in his portrayal in NXT, was it the longest reigning UK champion? Until losing to Ilya Dragunov. Great match, by the way. If I'm not bro, since being brought up, and I'm glad at least Vince McMahon, not seeing his booking right, still made a decision to portray him strong. You know, like, it worked, and up until this point, he has been dominant, a credible champion. He's broken records now. I think he could, like he said, be somebody that could beat Roman Reigns and nobody would bat an eye. He is one of those people that helped the Boom period, for sure. I just hate the name change.
Rhea Ripley has superstar written all over her. I mean, not literally.
Y'all motherfuckers be going crazy.
The presentation. I mean, she is so impactful in WWE at the moment. We even mentioned her in somebody else's entry. So she's basically appearing twice on this damn thing. That proves my point. He also had that incredible WrestleMania match against Charlotte Flair and has been a huge reason why the Judgment Day has become one of those popular groups in the entire company. She also is just so damn legit. And when she's on the screen, you're like, yeah, she could kick everybody's ass. She is currently the women's world champion too, and I would keep that belt on her for well over 500 days. And have you seen the kind of numbers she is doing on TikTok? I do believe she is the most popular WWE superstar. And do you know how that
Even
ties
more
in?
than John
People
Cena?
will watch her on social media, then they tune into the show.
Yeah.
It's booming. So
That's
her
fact.
stock is just going to continue to rise.
That's fact. And she know what she
she's
be
only
doing too.
26
Y'all
years
dudes be
old. This is
simping.
going to become ridiculous. Number 3, Cody Rhodes. Are you
Yes,
into
sir.
stats? Awesome, because you're going to love this. Because if you do go mega nerd and research all of this, as soon as Cody decided I'm going to leave AEW and go back to WWE, numbers just
No,
skyrocketed.
Watching WrestleMania live and hearing wrestling has more than one royal family. Goosebumps. Bro, it was kind of still, you can still hear the pop and you can hear everybody going crazy and wild. I was freaking out. This moment is what I'm pretty sure revitalized my love for like watching wrestling again. Because up until this point, I would watch YouTube and like I'd on and off watch shows. Cody Rhodes, aside from the Roman Reigns stuff and like watching that on a weekly basis and then watching like pay-per-views, Cody Rhodes returning is what had me start following Raw, SmackDown, NXT like to its entirety. Knowing about the entire show, being a fan of wrestling again. So I can agree with
The
that.
man
Number
absolutely
3,
did it. I mean, be it all elite wrestling
Decent
fans
spot.
or just Cody
Decent spot.
supporters, they all tuned into WrestleMania 38 to watch his big return, and then they sat in their couches and went, actually, I'm going to hang around. And they have. I mean, it's absolutely
Right.
hilarious to look back on this now, too, because so many people are like, oh, he's just going to become Stardust again.
y'all gotta stop.
And
with that.
even if they did that tomorrow, I actually don't think it would matter. 'Cause
Right.
The American Nightmare has landed his mark. I mean, we've essentially
killed
turned
it.
him into the brand new John Cena, but this time it's absolutely working. And much like
Right,
Roman,
though?
he just increases house show numbers, he increases ratings, and he's selling merchandise like it's damn cheap. Have you seen those prices? It ain't cheap. But absolutely
not.
tied into the upswing for WWE as the company did grow, and I would love to see an alternative version where Cody doesn't make that jump, because I actually think you would see the difference. And look, eventually he is going to be the world champion,
You
and I think this will go
probably
higher
would.
still. Man is a damn hero and an inspiration. Number 2, the
Actually, that's a tough one. Actually, genuine, because how do you if you really think about it, if Cody Rhodes never returned, you don't get those amazing matches with Seth Rollins. You don't get those amazing feud with the Judgment Day and Cody and Jay, them winning the tag team championships even. You don't get Jay leaving the bloodline or maybe not going over to Raw afterwards. You might not even get CM Punk returning back. You may have gotten Randy Orton still over time, but like there's a lot of stuff that changes had Cody Rhodes maybe not have returned, which is crazy.
Usos. I don't think anybody predicted this. I mean, Jimmy and Jey Uso have always been a phenomenal tag team. That was obvious since day one.
Right.
It was not meant to be a pun. But thanks to this bloodline angle, they have become so important to WWE and proven, hey, if you want us to be single stars, we can do that too. I mean, it's been one of the best parts of the bloodline angle because so many people have got momentum coming out the other side. I mean, you've got Solo Sikoa, you've got the Usos that we're talking about right now. We could do this all day. So when all this is done, the Usos can ride the wave as well. And look, once again, if you just look at social media, people love talking about these guys. So they have plugged themselves in. They have become huge.
Yeet.
Number one, LA Knight. So I don't care what anybody says. This man has helped no end too. And it's not really anything to do with WWE because LA got himself over organically.
Literally.
All of a sudden was selling t-shirts like crazy. Apparently, he was the number one seller. And this is a company with the likes of Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns. Knight is flying high. And sure, yes, he's a little bit like Stone Cold and he's a little bit like The Rock. But who cares about that?
Right.
Wrestling is all about borrowing from ideas that have come before you. And if you want to take from two of the biggest dudes ever, well, that just sounds really smart. He has now become such a highlight that people look forward to his entrance because they want to cheer. And never forget that is so important when it comes to wrestling. I mean, we mentioned Stone Cold Steve Austin. It was the same with him. Look at someone like Daniel Bryan. I'm not going to continue this because I'll run out of videotape, which is not a thing. But if we treat this right, I tell you, we can take all the momentum we currently have and we can keep it going. Knight's social media numbers, especially YouTube, are just crazy as well. So I'm going to stand here with my stupid bald head and I'm going to keep everything crossed that we do right by this man.
You got it. So, LA Knight, yeah, being number one, I can see that. If we're not gonna go with Roman Reigns, yeah, you really can't say CM Punk helped out the boom period. He really did. Like, even though he genuinely did, him returning got probably thousands, tens, hundreds of thousands, probably people to either tune back in, see what was going on, or rewatch wrestling because he was back. Because a lot of people came back to wrestling when he came back in 2011, so I get it. Him being in the Royal Rumble, his little heelish stuff, the stuff he was doing with Seth Rollins, Cody Rhodes, it was interesting. And it got people talking, but then he got injured. So, like, I get probably why he didn't put CM Punk on this list. He probably can be put on this list. This was a dope list, I agree, in terms of the placements. Let me know down in the comments what you guys thought, could have been on this list or who shouldn't have. But thank y'all so much. Tear Smoove out.